All right. Back on the grind. What's good, YouTube? I'm Cody.
And I'm Carson.
And we're the Twin Snakes Podcast. Super sugar gay.
It hurts worse every time we do it.
Super sugar gay. That's how we're going to intro from now on. That's like the classic boy band intro.
Yeah.
So real quick, let's just set the table. Obviously, happy to have you with us. As always, thanks for joining in. We put up an episode. Hopefully this is Wednesday morning now because we're supposed to upload on Monday, and I'm going to take full responsibility for why we didn't because, number one, I was sick over the weekend. Number two, we actually recorded an entire hour-long podcast with Mike, and it's on YouTube. It's unlisted right now, so maybe at some point we'll show you guys that. For some reason right now, I am struggling to be confident in things that I do. My anxiety is really fucking crazy right now. I'm in a bad position, just my soul is off, dude. It's just off kilter. And we went back and forth a bunch of times. We're like, should we post it? Should we not post it? I literally uploaded it to YouTube, wrote out the whole description. I even tweeted it. Earlier today, you may have seen, you may not have seen. I actually tweeted it and said, This is episode number 3, etc., etc. But, Mike was kind of tipsy. It wasn't focused. I honestly, genuinely believe it was very funny.
It was hilarious. When I watched it last night, I was dying.
There's parts of it that are really funny. So at some point, if you guys are interested in seeing the lost episode, let me know. I'll be happy to make it public. I just feel like we needed to make a legitimate episode to upload for the week because... And I'm so upset right now that I fucked up the Monday upload schedule. Even Wade asked me today, where's the podcast? And that was another thing too. I just wanted to see if anyone was actually gonna check for it. That's not why I delayed it, but it was just interesting to me to see if anyone would notice. And I just fucked up, guys. I don't know what to tell you. So I'm gonna do everything I can to grind this one out tonight. But yeah, dude, I'm super fucking stressed. I got so much bullshit going on right now at this time. I got Dave and Carolyn are getting married. They're having me officiate the wedding. And that's fucking driving me insane because I have to still write out my speech of what I need to say to officiate their wedding, which is kind of a big deal. They're putting I don't want to make it sound like a bad thing, but they're putting a lot of pressure on me to deliver. Yeah. And where I'm at right now, I'm just not in the right mindset. I got the big national sales meeting coming up this weekend. I'm going to be gone all weekend and then flying out as soon as I get home. The sales meeting's from Saturday night until Tuesday night. I get home Tuesday night. I fly out that morning at 6 a.m. to go to Connecticut.
Where are they having the sales meeting?
It's in part of it's in Ellicottville, part of it's at the Buffalo Convention Center. But I'm literally not going to be home at all.
Right.
It's just going to be crazy. Hey, rock star lifestyle, you know what I'm saying?
I mean, that's better than Sherwin-Williams. They have to go down to Orlando.
Oh, really?
For 4 or 5 days, which I mean, it's cool because sometimes they'll rent out Universal for the whole day.
Oh, really?
Because there's you got to think all the managers go and all the sales reps and all the people in the corporate world. So there's thousands of people.
Well, that's how it works with that. They bring everybody in.
Yeah. And
it's a big deal. And realistically, I should be excited about both these things. I have an awesome fucking sales conference coming up. Yep. I have an awesome wedding coming up of one of my really great friends, Dave Nelson, who designed our logo, by the way, which I don't know if you guys have seen that yet, but if you do come across it, I noticed some people have been following the Instagram page because I feel it's showing in the suggested users, which is super cool. And we're gonna definitely spread our wings a little bit and populate the social media accounts and all that. Just really behind, guys. This is just another endeavor that we undertook. I'm not gonna, you know what I'm saying? Obviously, it's both of us, and it's just we both are fucked up, and it's just another thing adding onto the plate of stress right now. But the point is that it's supposed to be fun, and I think that's it's the perspective. It's okay, I got to go to this sales meeting. Fuck, dude, I'm not gonna be home all weekend. How the fuck am I gonna get everything done?
That's how I always look at it too. Anything, even going to a show, when we went and saw Architects, it was last year, right?
Yeah. Can you hold the mic a little closer to your face?
Obviously my favorite band, I should be super excited to go, but the only thing I could think about was the fact that I have to go all the way to Toronto, and then I got to be in this venue with all these people, and I kept thinking oh my God, I hope I don't have a panic attack while I'm there. What am I going to do if that happens? And
just so shitty to feel that way, dude. I feel when you're a kid, you don't feel that way at all.
No,
you don't even think about shit like that.
No, you're so in the moment when you're a kid, like you don't think about shit like that.
And like, if I had this daunting couple of weeks coming up, I wouldn't be worried about if I'm gonna survive it, or if I'm gonna have a panic attack while I'm officiating their fucking wedding.
Yeah.
You know how many times that's crossed my mind already?
I'm sure.
I can see the panic attack incoming. Like,
I know.
Dearly beloved, we are. Dave, I'm sorry, dude. I can't do this.
Yeah.
Like that. I don't want a catastrophic event like that to occur.
I know.
And I should be like, wow, this is super dope. They picked me to do this.
Yep.
This is a great thing to do. This is going to go down for the rest of their lives and for the rest of mine as something super fucking cool.
Yep.
And I'm over here fucking stressing about it, dude. Like this weekend, I literally slept for about 2 days straight. And I know why I did it, because that was my body's fucking defense mechanism of having to deal with anything.
Yep.
It's just fucking shitty, dude. I hate it. I know probably some of you guys watching probably have like anxiety disorders or problems or whatever the case may be.
Can you imagine being somebody who doesn't have to deal with that?
That would be amazing.
Like, there obviously everybody gets nervous about things, but like to not have to like if I have to do something I don't want to do or something that I haven't done before, or I have to go somewhere I haven't been before, like I literally get into this panic mode and like I freak out the whole time. And I just keep thinking like, dude, there are people out there who can just like go and do anything at any time.
Don't even think about it.
Yeah.
And that's another thing, like with the podcast, like I'm really disappointed that I even thought about not putting this up. Like I'm honestly genuinely disappointed that we're back here doing this again, because we should not give a fuck.
No.
First of all, nobody's really watching this yet.
No.
And the people that are probably would have thought that shit was mad funny.
It's all people that are close to us anyways. So.
Right. And like, what do we have on the line? But that I will say this. That's part of being like, anytime you do anything creative, the process is you have an idea, you do it, and then the rest of it is just deciding like, is this good or does it suck?
Yeah.
And like you've noticed that with me recently, like even if I'm going to post an Instagram story or whatever, sometimes I'll kick it over to Carson just to get another set of eyes on it, because I don't know if it's fucking cringe or if it's funny. And I hate that.
You shouldn't care, but like
you should not care at all.
Especially if you're going to do something that's supposed to be like corny and funny, like
right.
You shouldn't even care about it.
And also the fact like we're putting ourselves out there.
Yeah.
I don't like, not everyone's going to like it. Not everyone's even going to watch it.
Yeah.
And who gives a fuck?
Dude, I'm sure that like my story on Instagram, every time we put out a new one, like I usually get like around 25 to 30 people that see my story. I bet you only like maybe 5 or 6 of them actually check it out.
That's probably honestly like a high guess.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I don't know. I'm just kind of bummed right now, because I just want to be confident with this and I want to just do it. And that's what we need to do. And I'm as disappointed as I am that we went back and forth, and now that it's caused a fucking 2-day delay. Yeah. I'm glad that we at least squatted back up and we're going to get this shit up. Now I got to fucking rebounce the whole goddamn thing.
I know.
But the point is, okay, guys, this whole thing that we started is supposed to be fun.
Yeah.
And it's been stressing me out all fucking week. And that's just garbage. Like, that's uncalled for. There's no need for that.
Did you tell Mike that we're redoing it or no?
I didn't tell him, dude.
I hope it don't hurt his feelings.
He's probably going to be disappointed.
Yeah.
But dude was off his fucking rocker. I honestly, like, the more we talk about it in this ominous way, like, I feel like people are going to be like, I got to see that.
Yeah.
It was a train wreck. It was a fucking train wreck.
It was hilarious, but there was some parts of it, like especially the Russ thing.
The Russ thing was
just like
fun. It was so cringe.
You could have fucking edited in crickets in that. Yeah. It was so bad.
Because Carson really wanted to talk about Russ and Adam 22, and all Mike was doing was just basically shitting on how no one knows who they are.
Yeah.
It's like, dude, that's kind of the whole point of like the podcast, is like they just talk about shit.
Right.
And if you're sitting here saying, oh, this is dumb, nobody fucking cares about this, who the fuck are these clowns?
Right.
Why would anyone watching care?
Yeah.
But it was really funny because also like Mike was drunk and I was sitting here trying to like, this isn't a professional operation, but like we take it seriously. We want it to be good.
Yeah.
And he kept like getting up and shit. And you could just see me like seething. Like I was just so passive aggressive towards him. It's pretty funny. You guys really should see it, I feel like.
I think the frogs are gay.
The frog. I would love to just cut that piece out and use it as a highlight, because there was one bit about Alice Jones that we did that was fucking super funny.
Mike was getting so pissed.
He was getting, it's a fact. It's actually a fact. I mean, you were just riffing on the gay frog. It was really good. Maybe I'll put it up. If you guys want to see it, let me know. Drop a comment. Hit the thumbs up button. Smash that like button. and fucking we'll run it back. I mean, we're gonna have a weird schedule thing going on with me going away and you're going out of town, so we might need that backup episode just to kind of hold people
Fill
over.
some space. Yeah.
Exactly. So it's all good. But yeah, man, I'm sorry, guys. It's late, but I hope you're listening now and enjoying it. And we're gonna be completely transparent with you guys about what the fuck is going on around here, because it might seem, hold on one sec. It might seem like it's just an easy, like, thrown together thing, but it actually does require like hours of fucking processing to put up. And oh, woe is me, Cody has to bounce out a podcast. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying, like,
it is a pain in the ass,
work.
though.
It's work. Like, there's work involved. So we appreciate you checking it out. And obviously, if nothing else, like, we take it seriously to the point where, like, we want to be entertaining and we don't want to put up a shitty. That's what was bothering me. It was like, it seemed like it was like so haphazardly thrown together that throwing it up would be disrespectful to like the small fucking normalcy that we built up over the first past two.
But you got to think too that we're watching ourselves, and it's like a thing that we're creating, so we're going to be way more critical of it than somebody who's just watching it.
That's the thing.
That's not a part of it.
Not going to give up. We got to somehow get out of that headspace.
I know. It's hard,
like
though.
Dave, obviously, again, Dave Nelson, my old the singer in my old band, who's getting married, who designed our logo, who's super dope. He sent us like an email of like things that we should do moving forward with the podcast as far as like branding it, marketing it, trying to get more ears and eyes on it. And he really wants to like help. Maybe part of that is like bringing him on as like an executive producer and like kind of directing like what we should do and talk about to make sure that it's like on point.
Yeah.
Because I gotta be honest with you, like on Sunday, like when you came over, obviously I was sick all weekend. I slept all weekend. Like I was not in the headspace to do a good podcast.
Yeah.
And I guess that's going to be part of the challenge of like doing this every week. Like the first time we did it, we just unloaded. We had nothing to talk. Like we had one specific thing we wanted to talk about, and we just fucking went off. And then like every week, it's going to be finding different things to talk about.
Yeah.
Which is going to be a challenge, but we're up for it, and I hope you stick along for the ride.
Yeah.
So with that being said, enough fucking bitching and moaning and complaining. Let's talk about this. Kanye West. Okay. Did you see what he said about kind of social media and what he thinks should be done with like Twitter and Instagram and shit like that?
Take away likes and stuff like that. Basically.
He wants to basically get rid of followers and get rid of likes, and in order to preserve like people's self-worth. He feels like people derive self-worth from it, which they do.
Yeah.
And he thinks it would be better if that just didn't exist at all. I disagree.
The only thing I would disagree with, well, I disagree with the whole thing, but the main thing would be the followers, because like then how would you see people's shit if you didn't follow them? If the following thing was gone, then you would never see stuff from people that you want to see it from.
And also like that robs like all the interaction out of social media. You know what I'm saying? Like,
which is the most important part of it.
The whole point, like people liking your shit is kind of like, not that it's all based on that, because it's not. You just have to don't derive your self-worth like from your likes.
Yeah.
But at the same time, if you do something and a lot of people like it, that means you connected with them on some level.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like, if we put up the podcast and, you know, fucking 4 people retweet it, that makes me feel good, because it's like, okay, first of all, we have people that are supporting us.
Mm-hmm.
Second of all, we have people who believe in us. And furthermore, that's going to get it out to more people that may not have seen it.
Yeah, they care enough to be like, to basically tell their followers like, hey, check this out.
The way I look at it is like, to do that and to strip the likes away and the followers away and all that, that would basically be clout communism. Or clout socialism. Like everyone's just fucking equal.
Yeah.
I think in theory, communism and socialism is a great idea, because then no one gets their feelings hurt. Everyone gets the same slice of the pie. There's no fucking There's no people that post shit and get 0 likes and then want to kill themselves. But I feel like the benefit of succeeding in a capitalist society or in a capitalist clout world far outweighs just like scraping by in a communist.
Well, yeah, and you got to think of it too, like in a communist setup, like, or maybe it's socialism. I forget which one it is, but
I think they're both kind of intertwined.
Like a doctor who went to school for however many years to earn that degree and become a doctor and start their own practice, which takes years and years and years, is going to make the same amount as a dude fucking dunking French fries at McDonald's. Like,
and I just
they're going to make the same
with
amount of money. It's stupid. Like,
it is stupid.
If you do something like a doctor or, I don't know, a firefighter or a police officer or a fucking coal miner or something like that, you should make way more money than some 16-year-old kid working on the fryer.
Agree. And I know Kanye like meant well, and like his idea, it makes sense. because it would help a lot of people. But I don't mean to sound like this, but it goes back to that like giving everyone a trophy type shit. You know what I'm saying? Like,
absolutely.
I feel like the whole point of like doing this internet shit and like putting out content is to try and ascertain a level of people caring about what you're putting out. Mm-hmm. And if you take that away, like, what's the end game? What are we even trying to do right now?
Yeah.
Like, I know we do this podcast as like a therapy type thing.
Yeah, but another reason I do it is because like, in the back of my head, I think like, maybe it could lead to something.
And it would be tight.
Yeah.
And the more eyes and ears we get on it, like, then the more fun it would become. Mm-hmm. I think we've talked about that a million times. So, I mean, I guess with that whole thing, I just thought it was an interesting concept because, I mean, Kanye always kind of like tweets ridiculous shit.
Yeah. But
that one kind of resonated because it just, like, I never thought about it that way. It is weird, though, how, like, dependent people come on that the like likes and stuff. Like, it really is an endorphin rush. Like, when you open up Instagram and you see the fucking hearts piling up, or you see like fucking the heart with like a 6 next to it, it's like it's really kind of like a drug. And it sucks, but it's just part of life now, dude. Like, it just is what it is. Like, I want to survive and thrive in that world, not just like strip it of any sort of merit.
I mean, if you look at like younger kids nowadays, they're even worse than our generation is with social media. Like, you click on somebody's thing and it's like they post a selfie like sometimes even twice a day, and you can just keep scrolling and it'll just be selfie after selfie, and they're just doing it because they just want the likes and the comments telling them how great they look and everything.
Right. I think we're benefiting in a degree that like we got to experience the world before this happened.
Yeah.
And I feel very grateful and blessed for that. I guess if you're like over the age of like 20, maybe even like maybe 22, 23.
Honestly, I think anybody born after like my grade is like it. For some reason, there was a huge disconnect in between there.
Yeah, they're coming into just such a weird world now.
Yeah,
like unprecedented. And we're in a weird spot because we're like literally the transitional generation.
Yeah.
There's all the older people beyond us who are never going to get fully acclimated with the technology shit. They just feel out of place. And then there's us who grew up starting with no internet, and then we've seen every level of it get integrated at this point. So we've literally lived through every phase of it. So we're the only generation of people that are ever going to be like this because there's no turning back now at this point.
Yeah. We went from dial-up to now having a little miniature computer in our
just
pockets.
Always being connected.
Yeah.
It's fucking wild. It's absolutely wild. But my thoughts, I mean, keep likes and shit. I don't want that to go away. It's just better.
Yeah.
And yeah, like, it does feel like that's why if I'm going to post something and I kick it over to you first, it's like I don't want it to flop.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That does kind of feel shitty, especially if you're doing something creative or some type of like performance art and you really put yourself out there and then like it falls flat. It's like, fuck, why did I do that? Now I look like a fucking asshole.
Even if you just do something as simple as like post a tweet, like some just funny thought that you had and you post it out there and it doesn't get a single like, it makes you feel bad about yourself.
It does.
Like, wow, maybe I'm not as funny as I thought I was. And then you go and delete the thing.
There's so many factors, dude.
Yeah.
It's like when people open their Twitter. Like,
I know.
And that's another thing, too, about just like trying to be funny or do something cool. It's like in your head, it seems like a great creative idea. Once it gets put out, that's when it becomes this line of like, well, does this suck or is it funny?
Yeah,
like, I don't even know. Mm-hmm. It's just the never-ending fucking struggle.
Yep.
So I think our whole thing is going to have to be just to put our fucking heads down and just grind it out.
Yep.
And put the shit out no matter what. So that's that. That's one thing I definitely want to discuss. I thought it was a cool concept.
Back to like younger kids being disconnected. There's a girl that I work with that's 21 now, so she's only 3 years younger than me. She didn't know who Ja Rule was. She didn't know what TRL was.
That blows my mind.
Only 3 years difference.
Yeah, it's fucking crazy. I mean, I don't know. It's just hard to relate to like people that didn't go through like living in a time when that wasn't a thing. You know what I mean? It's just fucking insane.
I know.
That's my catchphrase. I say nonstop. Fucking insane. Speaking of fucking insane, all right? I'm really glad that we pulled up to do this after last night's game. The Bucks lost, et cetera, et cetera. Chris Conte got fucking stiff-armed into the ground. Did you see that by any chance?
I did not see that.
It was brutal. But can I speak on Jameis Winston real quick?
Yeah.
Because this has been fucking driving me goddamn insane.
Mm-hmm.
And I said this last week, and I'm going to say it again right fucking now. You want to slander Jameis? That's fine. I'm not here to defend anything he did. I'll give you the little fucking pretext. Jameis Winston got suspended for the first 3 games of the season for groping an Uber driver in 2015 or 2016. I can't remember.
Okay.
So I don't know what the findings were. Like, there was no criminal charges, nothing like that I'm aware of. But the NFL decided to suspend him for 3 games. Not here to defend Jameis Winston. Not here to clear his name. Not here to say he's not a fucking bonehead off the field. All I'm saying is I feel like in a major way, people are letting what happened off the field somehow Men in Black erase their memory of how fucking good this dude is on the field. Like, the slander I'm seeing is blowing my mind because, especially from people with inside, like, the Bucs Nation fan page, like on Twitter and shit, people are going fucking nuts. And I don't want to take anything away from Fitzpatrick or Fitzmagic, as they're calling him. He's absolutely gone off over the past 3 weeks. He's the first quarterback to throw for 3 400-yard games in a season ever. He's the first quarterback to throw for 400 yards and 4 touchdowns in the first 2 weeks of the season ever. He's leading the league in pass yardage. It's the first time that 2 receivers on a team have caught 3 touchdowns in the first 3 games. He's doing unprecedented shit. But do you know what I think about when I look at Fitzpatrick and what he's doing? Do you understand what Jameis is going to do with these weapons, this offensive line, and this play calling? Jameis Winston is better than Ryan Fitzpatrick, and I understand you ride the hot hand, so on and so forth, but Fitz kind of came back down to earth last night. He threw 3 interceptions in the first half. One of them was a pick 6 at their own goal line, and he's 36 or 35. Jameis Winston's 24 years old. He's a first overall pick, Heisman Trophy winner, national champion in the NCAA. He's the first player to throw for 4,000 yards in his first 2 seasons. He has the most touchdown passes for anyone 23 or younger. That includes fucking Dan Marino, Peyton Manning. Damn. The list goes on. This dude is a fucking baller, and it's his team. And I couldn't be happier with fucking Fitz doing what he did. We're 2-1. Everyone thought we were going to go 0-3. But the bottom line is they have a short week now. They play Chicago. I say we leave Fitz in for 1 more week. If he fucks up bad in that game, go ahead and pop Jameis back in. But Jameis hasn't even been allowed in the team facility since the whole suspension started. He's like blacklisted. He got to come back this morning, actually. Damn. So if you want to give him another week to like prepare, after the Chicago game is the bye week. So really it's going to give him 2 weeks. You go with Jameis Winston at that point. That's just what you do. And I'm not hearing anything else but that, even though that's what everybody wants to say. The Fitzmagic shit's a great story. I love it. He's a great dude, but he's not the future of this team, dude. And we're going to be better when we have the more talented quarterback in at QB. Mm-hmm. And that's just the bottom line about that. Like, it just is what it is. And I personally cannot wait until he is playing again and he's fucking slinging it. And all these fucking assholes who have been talking shit and dragging his name through the mud and talking about he's going to the XFL, he's going to the CFL, Bucks are going to cut him, career over, have fun on the bench. None of y'all are allowed back on the bandwagon. Yep. You're cut off for life. So just keep that in mind. I'm taking notes too. Any of you motherfuckers that said shit, I got you marked down, all right? It's going to be a roll call because I'm calling all you out. And don't try getting back in the shit because Jameis is going to go off. You heard it here first, and I'm sticking by it.
Yeah, you better trade in your jerseys and get something different.
Exactly, dude. It's Jameis Winston's season, dude. The boy is coming back in a big-ass way. And I cannot fucking wait personally. So I just had to really get that off my chest because it's been driving me fucking crazy seeing the wild-ass shit people have been saying.
It's so annoying. Like
he's done nothing or like he sucks or something. It's just out of control. And I will say this too, just to, we can move on, but that fucking pick that Fitzpatrick threw, like at their own goal line, that the Steelers got a pick 6. Like if Jameis would have thrown that, he would have got fucking crucified.
Yeah.
His like margin for error is so much smaller than everybody. I don't know why that is. It's a head scratcher.
I know. I can't think of one reason. I can't think of any differences between those two guys that would make people feel that way.
Not to harp back on that, but you gotta believe it's a factor on some level. You have to. It
definitely is.
And like when I see some of the Tampa like Facebook, and it's different with Jameis because he has his issues off the field. He has had problems. He keeps fucking up. You know what I'm saying? And if he fucks up again, I'll say this. If he fucks up again, even I will wash my hands of him. Yeah. Even though he's my favorite player, I will say, you know what? Enough is enough. We can't have this.
If it was anybody else, though, they just attribute it to, oh, he's still a kid. He's
Right.
still young. He's just making mistakes.
He's 24.
That's what kids do. Yeah. But because it's him, and even though I don't know what the difference is,
right,
they're getting on his
not
case.
Sure.
Yeah.
But I just feel like, personally, I feel like this whole experience, like getting suspended, having to be away from his team, then his team plays really well without him and everyone's dismissing him. I feel like, as a Bucs fan, as a Jameis fan, that this experience is going to turn him into the fucking man he needs to be to lead this team for the next decade or more. This is going to transform him. It's going to humble him. He's going to come in ready to fucking kill it. And I can't wait. I just hope his first game, like, he doesn't throw like 4 picks, because then I'll feel like a real ass.
It's going to turn into a kamikaze.
But, yeah, exactly. It's going to be the same fucking shit. Let's talk about that a little bit, though. I mean, I'm sure you probably don't have anything really to add about Jameis or the whole scenario, but...
No, not really. I mean, I don't even know, like, besides what you told me about him groping somebody, I don't even know what else he's done.
There's just a bunch of, like, dumb fucking... Yeah, we don't need to get into it. I'm not trying to slander his name or bring up old shit, but... Yes, he said, I don't want you to, like, root for him as a character. Like, if you hate him for what he did, that's all fair and just. I'm not going to say that, but when we're talking about on the football field skill-wise, like, don't be a fucking idiot, please.
Actually, I do want to talk about one thing. It's because you said that there was no proof and he never officially got charged.
From what I understand, he didn't. I mean, they must have found something conclusive enough to warrant a suspension, but I don't know what that would have been or was.
It makes me think of Enzo when that whole thing happened with him.
Enzo Amore, yeah.
Sexually assaulting the chick, and then WWE just let him go. And then turns out that the charges were all dropped, and it was a completely false accusation.
Everything got dropped. So Enzo Amore, he was in the WWE. He was the Cruiserweight champion. He was one of the most, honestly, popular wrestlers they had. Probably one of the best on the mic that they've had in years.
Yeah.
And basically, a story came out that said that he was getting charged with sexual assault. It broke, so he reported to the WWE. And based on the fact that they didn't know what happened yet, they fired him. And the fact that he never reported it to him. But, like, why would you report something if you didn't do it and if it wasn't a charge yet? Like, you'd be an asshole to go to your employer and say, hey, this chick's saying I raped her and I didn't. But I just want to let y'all know. They'd be like, okay, dude, like, we're not fucking with that shit.
They would have fired him right then.
Exactly. So he gets fired, loses his job. Mm-hmm. All the tabloids go crazy. All the wrestling dirt sheets go crazy. Mm-hmm. And then a couple months later, all the charges get dropped. And they decide that the chick was making it up and that it was bullshit.
Yep.
Did Enzo get hired back? No. Did the WWE release anything clearing his name? No. Absolutely fucking not.
He worked his ass off to get to the highest level you can get to in professional wrestling, only to have it taken away from him by a bullshit accusation.
And now he hates fucking... Now he doesn't even want to wrestle anymore.
Yeah.
He's probably never going to go back.
Probably not. He's hanging with 50 Cent now.
Like, the fact... That just blows my mind. And people always say, like, well, if you don't do anything, you shouldn't be afraid. If you're not guilty, you shouldn't be worried. But, dog, that's the whole point. You don't have to be guilty to get fucked. Yeah. You don't have to have done anything to get fucked. And I'm not trying to undermine sexual assault victims or anybody who's gone through anything like that. I have the utmost empathy for that. It's wrong. It should not be tolerated. People should lose their jobs if they're acting in a predatory nature and making people feel uncomfortable.
Yeah, if they're actually 100%. Doing it, for sure, yeah.
But this fucking witch hunt shit is getting out of control. I mean, I just don't like... It's just fucked up because the minute it's like in grade school. The minute you say something like, oh yeah, Carson pissed his pants in class... Doesn't matter whether he pissed his pants in class or not, dude. Yep. It's mob mentality. The whole class is going to get on him. He's going to be known through high school for pissing his fucking pants at that point, even though he never did it.
Exactly. And how many people can you think of that you know in your own life that have raped somebody?
The only one I can think of is that incident at the high school with those 4, I'm not going to name who they were, kids that we went to high school with that did the thing with like the broomstick and like the special ed girl. You probably don't remember that story.
That happened at our school?
Not at our school, but it was kids who went to our school. And that was the report. Okay. And I don't know the facts on that either, so I'm not even going to say. So that's the only time I can think of something like that happened.
So besides that, don't you think it's funny how all of a sudden these guys, they get to a professional level, they start making millions of dollars, and then all of a sudden they're all out there fucking raping people.
They have a target on their back. When is it easier to get pussy than when you're famous and have
exactly.
money?
You're telling me
like,
unless they're fucked up in the head, you're telling me that people like Kobe Bryant even need to rape somebody?
Absolutely not.
They could walk into a club and every single chick in that club is going to want to fuck them.
With that being said, I'm not going to say that they might not. If they're just a scumbag, maybe they'll still do it.
Right. If they're fucked up in the head, then yeah, definitely.
But we got to remain logical about this type of shit. Who's the guy that plays Superman? Henry Cavill? Is it Cavill?
Something like that.
Whoever played Superman, a few months ago, he said something in an interview, and he was like, I'm not trying to discredit sexual. You always have to preface it. You always have to give it the big preface. Just, I know. This is basically, I'm saying the PC thing. I don't want to offend anyone, but I'm going to say something controversial. He hit him with that, and then he goes, so this guy's a famous fucking actor. He's good looking. He's in phenomenal shape. He plays fucking Superman.
Yeah.
All right? I'm sure getting laid is not hard for him.
No.
I would love to be him for a day.
Yeah.
But he said something to the effect of, and I am paraphrasing, he said something to the effect of, all this Me Too stuff and sexual allegations, it's making me question how I court a woman. I'm almost tentative to even approach women because I'm afraid that they might levy allegations against me because of who I am. And people went fucking crazy.
I know.
Like, how could you say that? How could you disrespect and disregard all the sexual abuse survivors? He didn't. He's pointing out a logical, actual consequence of all this. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, he is absolutely, that's a valid point that he said. And he just completely got lampooned. Dude,
Emily and I have talked about this many times, and she agrees too that the level that is getting to, the Me Too stuff, like guys are going to get to a point where they're not going to approach women at all. Like they're going to just say, you know what, it's not even fucking worth it because I'm going to get labeled as a fucking rapist or I'm going to go to jail for some shit that I didn't do, and they're just going to completely back off.
And there's so many levels of it too. It's like also like you don't even want to hit anyone's DMs anymore because like if you say something dumb, like you're going to get screenshotted and put on Twitter and like it's going to go viral. It's just like you guys are fucking it up. Like women are going to realize the ramifications of all this about 10, 15 years from now when they're just nobody seems to care about them anymore and nobody wants like they're coming out with sex dolls and shit. Like y'all are going to be obsolete.
When those robots drop, it's over.
It's a wrap. It's absolutely a wrap.
But what was it? Yeah, there's people out there that as soon as a celebrity or an athlete or somebody like gets accused of something like that, they immediately say that they're guilty.
It's over.
And it's like, do you really not think that it's plausible that a woman who has nothing, is completely broke, doesn't have a job,
no career prospects,
she just so happens to be lucky enough to hook up with somebody of that level, and she decides, wait a minute, there's a way that I can get fucking paid out of this. I can just say that he assaulted me and he raped me and I said no, and I can get millions of dollars. You don't think people think about that shit?
It's plausible. And the fucked up thing about it is then that's a gray area because then it's like, oh, well, you can't just deny that it ever happens and you can't just assume everyone's lying. You can't. But you got to be logical and not jump on either side of the fence until facts present themselves.
You can't just assume that they're automatically guilty too. Dude, Sam from Architects got shit on for that because there was a guy that he knew that was in the music industry somehow, and he got accused of groping a girl at a concert. And somebody like posted the article to Sam on Twitter and was like, hey, what do you think about this? I know you know him. He was like, I'm not going to speak on it until the facts come out.
Exactly.
And everybody was like, how can you fucking say that? Like, how can you... Same thing that happened with the Superman guy. Like, how could you disrespect victims and stuff like that? And Sam was...
I'm not disrespecting victims, dude. I'm just not giving my opinion until I have facts.
Yeah, Sam...
I'm not ready to jump on the fucking mob and kill this guy when I don't know what happened yet.
Yeah, and everybody was like, you're just saying that because he's your friend, blah, 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 blah. And he had to come out and post a big, long thing and be like, guys, I'm really sorry. Like, I didn't mean to offend anybody. It's like, dude, you shouldn't have to fucking do that.
That's bullshit, dude.
Yeah.
Complete bull. And then it, again, ties in with the Winston thing because the minute that any allegations were levied against him and when the incident came out, oh, there's an incident with an Uber and Jameis allegedly did something wrong. Everyone's like, well, fuck that rapist. Like, cut that rapist. He's a scumbag, blah, blah, blah. It's like, dog, we don't know what happened yet, okay? And like all the good things that Jameis does, like for the community within Tampa, like he's always fucking helping. I'm not trying to... Again, I don't want to defend Jameis Winston because I'm a fan of his for whatever it is that he did. Because whatever it is that he did was clearly wrong and he fucked up. But another thing too, like I'm not with this ending people's career shit because they fuck up one time.
Yeah.
I'm not about that. Like, if they show a pattern of being a scumbag and like and I'm not saying we can let people get off free pass like with a slap on the wrist. Like, yeah, there should be a punishment. There should be some sort of, and then if they repeat the behavior, then sure, they're done.
Yeah.
But it's like this fucking guy, like the Guardians of the Galaxy guy that got fired for his fucking joke tweets that he had.
Yep.
Like, this shit is just crazy, dude. Like, people combing through people's Twitters, like going back like years to try and find. There was like 4 baseball players in a week where people were just combing through their tweets and finding anything that had like racial language in it or like homophobic slurs in it or whatever. It's like,
so all because they said one messed up thing
when they were probably like 15.
Yeah. So all that hard work that they put in their whole life to make it to a professional level of a sport, and that all gets taken away because of something they said 15 years ago.
Right. And it's just like, when did context become just obsolete and irrelevant?
Yeah. Oh my God, dude.
Like, when did context disappear? Like go on Eminem, Kamikaze, the song Fall. He says, Tyler, create nothing. I see why'd you called yourself up. He didn't even say the word.
No, he bleeped it out.
Because it's 2018 and because he knows the climate, even he was smart enough to be like, you know what, I'm not going to leave it on there. Backmask it.
Yeah.
The first day the album's out, everyone's going fucking nuts. Oh, Eminem used gay slur. Eminem used gay slur. The guy from fucking Imagine Dragons, gay ass band, he comes out and like denounces it. There's no time and place for this. It's like, dude, he wasn't using it as a slur. He said, Tyler, the Creator, I see why you called yourself a.
Yeah.
And he did not say the word.
Yeah.
So in that context, can we not let it slide? Like, are we going to be language police to the point where no matter how you're saying it or how you're using it, like, let's say I'm telling you a story, right? And someone called me a faggot, okay? Let's say John Smith called me a faggot.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yo, crazy thing happened. I was at the park and I was doing fucking Zumba class in the lawn, and John Smith came up and was like, "Yo, you're a fucking faggot."
And I get pissed at you for saying
and then
the word.
I'm like, right? No, I'm telling you the story. I'm like, yeah, dude. So John Smith, he called me a faggot. You're like, yo, dude, what the fuck? Are you homophobic? I'm like, no, dude. He called me that,
dude.
Like,
That's how it is.
Like the fact
Really
that I just said faggot 4 times, like there's people who'd be legitimately mad that I even said the word.
Yeah.
I'm not slurring anyone. I'm not being homophobic. I'm just using a word in the language to convey an idea and to explain something. Don't come after me for that,
dude,
please.
Even what you said about Imagine Dragons, gay ass band, people will get on you relentlessly for that. And it's like, there's a lot of people now that like, oh yeah, I stopped using that word, whatever. I didn't. I still call shit gay all the time.
So do I. And like I again, there is a part of it that resonates with you and that like becomes real. Like obviously even Eminem was touched by it because he backmasked it and he usually wouldn't do that.
Yeah.
So there is a pressure that gets to you though to not, like, I definitely don't say gay or the F word as much as I used to when I was a little kid.
No.
But I've never been homophobic either. Like I don't care if people are gay. I just feel like I should be able to use a word that's funny because it's funny.
Yeah.
Like I don't feel like it, but whatever. We're never gonna fucking win this battle, dude.
Do you want to hear a really fucked up story?
Of course.
Going back to the rape allegations thing.
Of course.
So I'm not gonna give too much detail on who it is. You wouldn't even know who it is anyways, but there's somebody that is an acquaintance of somebody that I know that in college there was this dude who was basically like, he was like, I don't know, like the player of the dorms.
The player.
He fucked the whole hallway.
Right. The pimp.
Got with every
pimp
single
player.
chick. Yeah.
Wow.
But he was a super nice dude. Like super down to earth nice dude. But he just fucking got in everybody's pants. Okay.
And a lot of ballers do.
Yeah. And a lot of girls wanted to fuck him, including this one person. So she finally got the opportunity. They were hanging out one night. They got fucked up off some pills. They went in the bedroom. They had sex a couple times. Left the dorm, went to Walmart together, came back, had sex again. Then, a couple days later, the girl realized that she felt guilty about it because the dude's such a man whore, and now she just feels like another number. She says to the person that I know, yeah, he raped me that night. I might report him for rape. No, he did not. You had sex with the dude 6 times. You had sex, left with him to the store, came back, had sex again. Where is there rape in that equation?
I'm sorry, but I have to say this, and like people, if you hear this and you think it's fucked up, like whatever, I don't really care. I don't go along with all this bullshit. I say some controversial shit every day because it's just the way I am, and that's just how I do things. But you cannot revoke consent for sex after sex happened.
Yeah.
If you consented and agreed to it and enjoyed it, you cannot let your feelings afterwards dictate, okay, now he raped me.
Especially when you did it multiple times over a course of hours.
Just fucking bullshit.
And then
dude.
on top of that, like this kid, so you got to think it was my first year of college, so we were all 18. That kid's life would have been fucking ruined if she would have done that. For the rest of his life, he would have had that on his record as a rapist.
Right.
It would have ruined his life and possibly even done jail time. His whole future would have been fucked after that.
It's fucking tragic, brother.
And it didn't even happen.
I just don't know what the end game is for this. Like, I don't know what. Did you see the thing with Asia Argento? Like how she's one of like the top like Me Too people, like this actress from Italy.
Yeah.
Her and Rose McGowan are like two of the top like spokespeople for it.
Yeah.
So this kid, it came out that this kid, Jimmy Bennett, when he was 17, she had sex with him when he was underage. And Anthony Bourdain and that was Anthony Bourdain's girlfriend, Asia Argento.
Okay.
They settled with him out of court for $380,000. Now, I'm not saying that's an admission of guilt, but
that's an admission of guilt.
Doesn't fucking look good.
Yeah.
So now he's coming out with the story, and I don't remember what prompted him to like say that it happened or whatever. But now like she is in full like defense mode, saying like, no, like he took advantage of me. Like she's just grasping at straws.
Yep.
If you're gonna be this accusatory person, like number one, I do feel like you should have a clean record. Like if you have skeletons in your closet, just don't say anything.
Yeah.
Like if you've done some fucked up shit with underage people, don't be the champion of Me Too. Just like chill.
That shit will come out eventually.
100%, because you're making yourself a target.
Yeah.
And like, again, I don't need her to be crucified because she did something fucked up. Like, yeah, it is fucked up. And like, she should pay there should be a punishment for it. Mm-hmm. But I'm not saying like end her career. And I'm not even saying that like all of her accusations against other people are suddenly invalid because she did something fucked up. Yeah. Like that doesn't necessarily mean anything. Like if I steal something from you and then somebody steals something from me, I still got something stolen just because I did the crime to you.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It doesn't invalidate that. Yeah. But it's just crazy to me because basically like it just their whole movement kind of took a blow because like the credibility just like just went downhill.
Because now you got a man saying Me Too.
Right.
That and of fucks course, the whole thing up for everybody.
He went on this like Italian like news show this past Sunday, and the guy was a fucking dick to him and treated him like shit. Like, well, how can you get raped if you're a guy? Like, you're 17 years old.
Dude, there's people.
He was like, dude, I was uncomfortable. Like, I cried right after. Like, it was traumatic for me. And everyone's just like, no, it's not possible, dude. Like, you got your nut off. Like, it is what it is.
Did you ever see the Twitter war that me, Ben, and Ethan got into with this crazy fucking feminist chick?
No.
She literally said that it is impossible for a man to be raped.
I'm going to be honest with you. It's pretty fucking hard. I mean, you can't like take dick at gunpoint. Like it's just not, it just doesn't really work that way. Just because of the physics of like how sex works.
Yeah.
You can't really like, it just won't work. But to say that you can't like sexually assault a dude or put him in an uncomfortable situation or pressure him into doing something he doesn't want to do, that can definitely happen. And it definitely did happen. There's proof of it happening. So like, if we're going to be these crazy fucking like drop the hammer on anybody who does any kind of sexual assault or weird shit, she needs to be under the same scrutiny and face the same penalties that she's accusing fucking Harvey Weinstein of and all that other bullshit. Yeah. I will say this though, Jimmy Bennett, 17 years old, fucked Asia Argento and then got paid $380,000 to do it.
Dude,
balling.
Yeah.
Balling.
Yep.
She's kind of a smoke show. I mean, she's a little older now, but I mean, that's, and not to take away from the trauma of it. I'm sure it was very traumatic, but I would do it for $380K. I would probably do it for free, but I mean, I'll take the $380K as well. It'd be tight.
Yeah. Dude, I can think of instances in my life, like more simpler ones where like I had my ass grabbed by a chick that I did not want touching my ass.
And there is a double standard, okay? There just is, because we're different. Like, if a girl fucking walks up to me in the club and, like, rubs her hand on my dick and then walks away, like, I'm not gonna fucking throw a fit about it. I really don't give a fuck. Like, dude, I want it to happen? No, probably not, especially if it was an ugly bitch or a fat bitch. I really probably didn't want that to happen. But I'm not gonna fucking go ape shit about it.
Nope.
And, like, but I'm not gonna go around touching girls either. Like, I'm just not gonna do that. Like, I just don't...
Especially not now.
all the accusatory shit and all this like rape culture shit, like it bothers me because I really do have a clean conscience. Like I've always been against doing creepy shit to chicks.
Yeah.
Whether it's the right thing to do or I just don't want to embarrass myself. It's probably a little bit of both, but that's just never really been my vibe.
Mm-hmm.
Hopefully it's not yours either, because that's not good, and we should try to not do that at all costs. But yeah. I don't know, dude. It's a tough thing to talk about. Again, I'm not trying to undermine anyone who's actually been under duress, who's had a problem, who's been raped, been sexually assaulted. Like, it's all valid. But you got to understand that all this, like, witch hunting and all these false accusations, it's really just hurting the odds of it, if it really happened to you, being able to report it and being taken seriously. Like, all this stuff has consequences and ramifications, and like everything's so fast now. Mm-hmm. Like, we jump to conclusions so fast. News spreads so fast. We're willing to hang people and burn them at the stake so fast. Mm-hmm. We never take time to fucking think about anything. And like, it's so important when it's a touchy subject like this, and there needs to be facts that come out, to like go through the due process of like the justice system and like court of public opinion. Like, that shit happens so goddamn quick. Mm-hmm. Like, we just hang people right away, and I just don't think it's fair, and I don't think it's right, and I don't know what's ever going to be done about it, because I just think that it is what it is at this point. It's only going to get worse. Mm-hmm. And fuck, I don't know. I don't know what to do. I'm getting a fucking sex doll. I don't want to worry about it.
Yeah. I'm getting a sex doll, and I'm getting rid of my social media, and I'm staying in the house.
And yeah, exactly. And hopefully nobody will ever use this fucking podcast against us.
No, they will.
Of course.
Well, if we ever got to a point where like we actually started making money from it and got sponsorships, they'd be like, "Oh, look at the first couple episodes they did."
Cody said the F word 4 times in 1 minute.
Yeah.
It's homophobic. Like, dude, I'm not homophobic, dude. I love gay people.
Yeah.
Come on, man. Fuck.
Some of the funniest people I've ever met.
Yeah. And
like Nick, Courtney's friend Nick.
Yeah, he's
dude,
awesome.
Is hilarious.
Shout out to Nick, dude. I wonder what he's doing these days. Probably some gay ass shit. probably wearing like a Mardi Gras mask.
He probably wouldn't take offense to that either.
No, he knows he's gay as hell. That's what makes him who he is. That's what makes him cool.
Dude used to show up to the house in heels.
Yeah, dude. Remember when he fucking wiped out in the backyard on them? It's the inside thing. You probably won't be able to understand like what happened, but
dude, he was hauling
super
ass.
Flamboyant gay dude. He got on like a dirt bike and went off. Didn't he go off a ramp?
Yeah, we had my my black plastic like skateboarding ramp. We set it up in the grass and we were jumping off it with the dirt bike, and he decided to take a shot at it and go full throttle, and
he busted his ass.
Probably went about 15 feet across the yard and just ate shit.
People busting their ass is the greatest. Like, people falling down and shit like that. Anytime someone gets hurt, like, it's just funny as hell. As long as they don't get seriously injured, but it's still kind of funny, let's be honest. What do you got for Clout Chase of the week? You got anything?
I already talked about mine on Sunday. I got nothing else.
No, that's true. Well, in the event that we're probably going to upload that at some point as a bonus episode, I hope you guys are down with it and want to see it, because I wouldn't mind throwing it up. It's definitely different than like what we're doing here and like what we've done over the first two. So as far as Twin Snakes moving forward, like, we got the logo down, got an IG page made, got a Twitter page made, have a YouTube channel made. I don't know if I'm going to launch that right now or if I'm going to save that for like when all this fucking travel nonsense is over with to like do an official launch. But I'm thinking like on the Instagram page, like we can upload like highlights every week. You know what I mean? Like, take like little 1-minute clips of funny shit, blast them there. The one thing that Dave said we have to do that I'm really not looking forward to is like put like a bunch of hashtags on it.
I know.
Like hashtag podcast, hashtag Instago. Like,
we're gonna have to put like 50 of them on there.
I always have since 2013 made fun of that to the nth degree, because I think it's the core. You want to talk about clout chasing? That's literally doing that.
I know.
But if you guys can just forgive us and bear with us for the first few while we try and grow our audience, like, just cut us some slack, please. But the logo is super tight. I think it looks awesome.
I liked it a lot.
Anyone who's seen it thinks it's dope. If you want to see it, at Instagram, Twin Snakes Pod, at Twitter, Twin Snakes Pod, and then I think on YouTube, channels called Twin Snakes Podcast. So all that will be forthcoming. We're trying to grow. There's other things I want to add in. Like, Dave sent me some editing software to try out.
Yeah.
Obviously want to incorporate some of the vlog shit. Like, we put in a couple clips last week that I thought went over really well because they're just kind of funny. Like, they break up the monotony. Mm-hmm. So yeah, we got an episode out. So the whole thing was be consistent, and this is week 3, and we did it. Is there anything else we wanted to touch on?
There was one thing I meant to say earlier. I got a Snapchat from Josh Beausoleil. Him and DeFabio were watching the podcast, episode 2 at work.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Where do they work? Because DeFabio sent me one of trimming my fucking hedges, too.
Really?
He was like, I love the podcast so much, I had to come trim your hedges. It was just him standing in front of the bush. The fucking show was mad funny.
They work at the hockey rink.
Oh, okay.
So...
There was people that hit me up over the past week too, listening to it. Like people that I didn't ask to listen to it. So I hope you keep your eyes and ears on us. And as always, please subscribe to my YouTube channel, the new YouTube channel. Follow the Instagram, follow the Twitter. I know there's nothing there yet, but like your support means everything. It keeps us moving. Like when I want to kill myself and have horrible anxiety, it gets me in this chair talking. So keep it coming, man. And, any suggestions for, like, things we could talk about, things that you like. It's kind of weird. This is the first episode where, like, Eminem wasn't really discussed at length.
There was a couple times I wanted to, but I held back because I was like, we gotta back off that a little bit.
A little bit. And I think overall, like, it was a good few weeks, like a good 3 or 4 weeks. I think it's cooling off. I like how he took out the ad in whatever paper. He put it online, too, just, like, with all the tabloids, like all their criticism of the album, just said like, thanks for the support, assholes, and then just said how many it sold and so on and so forth. Thing with that, like, he called out all the critics on the album. What choice do they really have but to like review it poorly? Yeah. That's like their diss track back to him. Like if he calls out Pitchfork and all the fucking critics and shit for shitting on Revival, which maybe Revival deserved to be shit on. I'm not saying it did or didn't. Yeah. But this album did not deserve to be shit on, and we've discussed that at great length. It's a great fucking CD, and I think that over time, the legacy and the impact of this particular disc in regards to his career is going to become more clear and be more apparent. And I'm happy that we're going to be on the correct side of history when all is said and done.
I was thinking about that too. Like years down the line, people are going to be talking about it. Like, oh man, remember when Eminem dropped Kamikaze?
That was huge.
That whole thing happened.
It was fucking huge, brother. Huge silo, brother. Yeah.
But back to the critics, like it's funny because 15 years ago, maybe a little longer, like that would have actually meant something if his album got really shit reviews. But nowadays, like it doesn't mean
anything. It means nothing.
It means nothing now.
They have no weight. Like who reads Pitchfork like before they listen to something when you can just listen to it and like see if you actually like it? Like why would you read a review about music when you can just hit play on fucking Spotify?
And now like we live in a time where the charts and stuff are so readily available and like sales and stuff like that. Whereas back then I never really knew like how well an album did.
Plus it was actual physical units, so it was way different how an album got promoted and all that type of shit. Yeah,
definitely.
So. But that's that, dude. Kamikaze, fuck, maybe we won't talk about it next week. I mean, MGK, that's over.
Did you watch the Breakfast Club interview?
I still didn't watch it, dude. My apologies to Wade because I said I was going to watch it and I didn't. I would have liked to talk about it, but...
I'm going to send you a different video that basically it's one of those everything wrong videos. So it's everything wrong with MGK's Breakfast Club interview.
Awesome.
This guy makes some really valid points.
Nice.
So I'm going to send you that one. Maybe I'll just watch it that way. It's like 12 minutes long. He basically covers all the important stuff. And
dope.
Yeah, that interview was bullshit, I think.
Well, I'll be looking forward to seeing it. I wish I would have watched it already, so my bad. But
Bizarre and some other dude, I forget his name, put out another diss track. It was an MGK one this time.
Nice. Well, I'll keep the diss tracks coming. It's good for us. We love the drama. So, with that being said, we got a fucking hectic week coming up. I'm gonna be out of town. He's gonna be out of town, so we'll figure out the scheduling. But just happy to be here, folks.
Yep.
Happy to be here. Happy to have an epi for you. As always, like, subscribe, follow the pages. I feel like I've said that 18 fucking times, so it's probably just time to wrap up.
Yeah.
What do you say? You want to call it?
Yeah, I got nothing left.
All right, brother. Well, we did what we could. The Brothers Butler came at y'all again. Week 3, this is really the 5th podcast we've taped for 3 fucking episodes. But honestly, if you want to hear the lost episode with Mike, let us know. Because if enough people ask, I'll put it up. I might put it up anyway.
You know what we should do next time?
What's that?
What we did, was it episode 2 when you put the poll up on Instagram?
Yeah.
And people ask questions. We should do that again.
I can do that. It's just when I'm in these modes where like my anxiety's bad and like I don't even want to like post on Instagram. Like it's just so weird. Like you can tell if I'm feeling myself because I'll post like 5 stories in a day.
Yeah.
And if I don't post one for like 6 days straight, that means like, damn, bro's going through some shit right now. So just bear with me, yo. I'm that's me. So I'm trying.
I don't think anybody understood my poppin' flats story.
I did.
I'm not sure if anybody really knew what a flat was.
I mean, I don't really know what it meant in a different context. I just knew it was a flat, like a wing.
They say it in rap all the time, like popping flats. It's like it's some sort of pill.
A pill, probably
Xanax or something.
Probably
like
off the Xans.
Yeah.
All right, well, shit. Go Bills, go Bucks.
Go Dolphins.
Go Dolphins, 3-0, dude. I'm trying to get my man on the Dolphins train. I think they got maybe the best unis in the NFL.
I love the colors.
They're up
honestly.
there. You got to get that starter jacket, dude. You might have to drop 150 stacks on it.
Maybe next paycheck.
I think we're going to start a GoFundMe to get him the fucking starter.
That would be sick. It's only $150, guys. If we got 200 views on the last one, so if 150 of you donate $1, I can get my jacket.
I will say this too. I was pleasantly surprised. I thought the second one was going to fall off in a big way. And I don't know. I don't know how much of it has to do with like actually tagging relevant things, like tagging Killshot Kamikaze. I feel like that's bringing in like unique views.
Yeah.
But I guess 200 views in a week, that's kind of like our baseline now. And yes, I realize that's not shit. I'm not putting myself over anything. But for starting a fucking podcast out from nothing with two random dudes that don't, I mean, there's no reason for you to really pay attention to us. But hey, we're trying, dude. We're grinding. We got a starting point. So we're going to build from there. We got cool shit on the way. We got a whole marketing plan in place. We got our executive producer, Dave Nelson, getting married soon. I'm going to officiate your wedding, and in return, you're going to help blow this podcast up, all right, brother? So we'll talk to you guys soon. It's every week, bro. It's the Twin Snakes podcast.
That's it.
We out.
We're done.
Deuces.